So we're getting on to the DTP part. So we'll have to focus on this update block bus. Okay. So if you look at this update block, first thing is it will have information on the target. I told you extraction will have all the details about the source object and how to extract, and the update tab will have all the properties on what is my target and how to update the values. Okay, good. Now first properties about the target. What is your target, whether it is cube or DSO or attribute or text or what it is, and what is your object name. So basically my target is cube and the name of the cube is this. Okay, boss. And then we have something called, that's okay, there's nothing much in this. Then there's something called what? Error handling. Very, very important. You'll have 4 options here. One is what? Whether error handling should be deactivated, means no error should be checked at all. When you say no update, no reporting ante, see when you process your data through DTP, does it process through data packets, packet by packet? So let's say there is a packet which has got some error record, some invalid data bus. If it fails for invalid data, the complete packet should not be updated. Let's say you are processing packet size of 20 records. Out of this 20 in packet 1, let's say out of this 20 there is one error record bus. The complete packet should not be updated and the request should not come for reporting, means it should be the request should fail. You remember reporting availability symbol? Only if it is green you get that icon. So it says if there is at least one error record, the complete packet should not be updated and the request should not come for reporting bus. Now look at the next one, what it says. Valid records update, no reporting. What does it mean? Let's say the packet contains 20 records, one error record. So 19 are correct. Update those 19, but the request should not be, the request should be red. It should not come for report. Whatever is correct, let it update. Let it update those valid records, but the request should be red. That's what it means. Then what happens? What will happen to that error record is what question. Yeah. So what happens? Let's say you have 20 records in the data source, and you're running a DTP with saying valid records update, no reporting bus. When you trigger this, what happens? It will update those 19 records to the target, but the request would be red bus. The error record what we have will be written to something called error stack bus. It will be written to something called error stack. Then to upload the record, you will go to error stack, edit the record. You can, it's like PS, you can edit the records in error stack, then upload the records back from error stack to target by using error DTP bus. There's one more type of DTP we go to use as error DTP. And to create that error DTP, we have this option. What is this here? Create error DTP. And if you say valid records reporting possible, means what? Don't worry about error record. Whatever is valid, update and make the request green. That's the point. Okay. So out of these 4, which option would you prefer? Third one. I would prefer update the valid records, and whatever is error, let it hold in error stack. Let me correct them and then get that back from error stack to the target by using error DTP. Inka meek flow artham avuthundi. There is a document which I prepared. I'll give this, there's a detailed explanation about every option, but look at this part. So you have source object and you have target object. You're running your standard DTP with, let's say, valid records update, no reporting bus. It will update those valid records to the target, but the invalid record will be written to what? Error stack. And then you go to error stack, correct the records from the error stack, and then upload the records back from error stack to target by using error. This is the concept. Okay. Now let's look at this. So I'm going to change this DTP and do the setting as well. Valid records update, no reporting. So if it is what are the valid, let it go through. Yeah? I'm going to load from that file. See users, Dell, and then desktop. Which file? This is a file we are referring, right? I would like to make some invalid data into this. Can there be ever data with 31? So that's like invalid data for me. Yeah? let's load those. So I'm loading some around 20 records, but there are 2 records error. Okay, but when I'm running info package now, but will it fail while running info package? No, because info package is extracting data from source until PSA. PSA will hold exactly the replica of data coming from source irrespective of the data quality. Data ఎట్లున్నా PSA కి అయితే వస్తుంది. అక్కడి నుంచి క్యూబ్లోకి పోయేటప్పుడు ఫెయిల్ అవుతుంది అన్నట్టు ఇన్వాలిడ్ రికార్డ్స్. సో వెన్ యూ సే స్టార్ట్, so 20 records done. So I'm running this, I'm running the DTP with valid records update, no reporting was. You got an error, okay, fine. But look at this. 20 records have been extracted. 20 records error handling was done. 20 records on transformations. What is this? It is updating to queue. Out of 20, how many are updated was? 18. And the request is read. If you go to manage of the queue from here, you will see, if you go to right, 20 records are transferred from PSA, but only 18 are valid. So valid records are updated. And do you have the reporting symbol here? There is no reporting symbol because the request is read. And why it is read? Because there are 2 invalid records which are not got updated, right? Okay, good. What first I should make sure those 2 records come up, then I can set this to green. Yeah. So what will I do is, how will you find that error stack? Select your DTP here, which was failed, and then you can go to what? Equinix monitor. Now what is the request which failed today, right? Select this red request here. Okay, this is a red request here. You see a button. What is the button? Error stack. Now click on the button error stack. So how many records are there in the error stack? Go into error stack now. And I know what is error, right? I can just select this and say change. Order date should not be. I'm changing it to what? 26. I've corrected my order date from 31 to 26. Save it. So you can't decide on your own in the real time. You would contact the business. They would get the correct data for you. So you've done the editing was. Now from error stack, I need to load it to target. How do you create error DTP? Go to your DTP, normal standard. This is what? Standard DTP was. Now this is a button you click on, create error DTP, and then go to execute tab. What DTP is this? And then execute. The 2 records from error DTP will be loaded to my target. 2 records are loaded now. Now let me see the manage of the queue. So now what are the 2 records we missed in this request has come in. Now can I consider this request to be successful bus? ఒక రెడ్ ఉంటే పైన కూడా ఇంకా రిపోర్టింగ్ రావన్నట్టు. సో నవ్ ఐ నీడ్ టు సెట్ దిస్ టు వాట్ ఇట్ హెడ్ ఫెయిల్డ్ సేయింగ్ 2 records రాలేదని. సో ఐ హ్యావ్ బ్రాట్ దోస్ 2 records బ్యాక్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎర్రర్ DTP ఫ్రమ్ ఎర్రర్ స్టాక్. So I'm setting the request to green. This is how you can do error handling with the error handling options with error DTP, error stack, and this. Okay. If you say refresh, you should start seeing that error DTP also here. Okay, boss. That's fine. And there's next option as what is this here? No update without. What does this checkbox mean? I told you while learning about schema, we said when you load master data, SIDs come up, and when you load transaction data, dimension is generated based on the SIDs. Now, can we load transaction data without master database? I told if you want, you can allow it. If you don't want, you can stop it. If you allow it, what happens? It explicitly inserts the characteristic value, generate SID, then uses that SID, generates dimension, then uses the dimension into fact table. Right? Here it is. If you select this no update without master, what happens? It will fail. If you're trying to load some master data for which if you're trying to load transaction for which there is no master data, it's going to fail up. Let's see that error. Then so what I would do is I would go to my file, try to put some customer where there's never a sales master data for it. 999999. There's no customer. There's no customer with this number there. I can show you this. What this is my cube, right? Display data model. What is the information for customer? This is a one. And see maintain master data, and see whether do we have 99999. What did it say? There's no record with this, so there's no customer with the number. Or I can see at the maximum customer is 29483. There is never a customer with 99999. Okay. So when there's no customer in the customer key, will it have SID bus? SID untunda? No. No, you should explain me what is that error. Yeah. Again, I'm running the DTP to extract those 20 records. I'm running this DTP now. Look at the error, what you get. Expand this. You need to check the error in the point. If you click on this, 31 was in the file 31 kuda unnaya. ఇక్కడ ఆపేసింది. మనకి ఎర్రర్ అది కాదు కదా రావాల్సింది, బికాస్ ఐ డి నాట్ రిమూవ్ దోస్ డేట్స్. I want a different error now. Before loading, can I edit this in PAC itself? Again there is an error. See how many it is updated was? No, there is one with error. Now what is that one? I can just click on this. It says what? What does it mean? No SID means what? This 999 is not maintained in the master, so it says no SID. That's the reason. So how do you fix this problem? Already my 19 records have gone to queue, and one error record is written to what? Error stack. Even if I run data error even if I run error DTP, will it fail again? Why? SID is not still maintained. So to overcome with this kind of problem, what will I do? Check చేయకూడదు. అప్పుడు టెంపరీగా అప్పుడు యాక్చువల్గా ఏంటంటే మళ్ళీ ఐ నీడ్ టు లోడ్ ద కస్టమర్ మాస్టర్ ఫర్ విచ్ ఇట్ ఇస్ మిస్డ్, దెన్ రీలోడ్ దట్ ఎర్రర్ DTP అగైన్. ఎస్ఐడి లేదంటుంది ఆ కస్టమర్ నేను మళ్ళీ లోడ్ చేసిన అనుకో, అప్పుడు ఎస్ఐడి జనరేట్ అవుతుంది, అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ ఎర్రర్ DTP రన్ చేయొచ్చు. నాకు లోడింగ్ ఏం లేదు కాబట్టి. For now what I'm doing, I'm just manually maintaining that entry. Manually I maintain the entry, but actually it has to be loaded. Again, from the source, you should load the new customer. New customer comes, then SID will be generated. Now, can I run the record from error DTP bus? Can I run the error DTP now? I don't have to correct anything. The single record from error DTP will get loaded now. It would successfully load in the bus. Now, because it finds SID now, yeah. And I can correct the previous request by setting it to green. Like this, you can do error handling with this. Okay, boss. That's your update tab, boss. Okay. Then next, we focus on execute tab. Okay. Then we focus on execute tab. So in the execute tab, what we do is we basically control the properties of execution of the DTPs, how it has to get executed. So before we get on to the understanding this, you should know one point. Now when you run the DTP, okay, so does it జరుగుతుంది